Sort of, for me, this is John Cena's wish list. It's him writing the last chapter of his book.
Yeah, I've been saying the same thing for 25 years. They deal them, I play them. They're just trying to make the most exciting show for the fans, man. For the dozen I got them left, they deal them, I play them.
The WWE and Triple H and whatever the PR teams want to put out there, they're all a bunch of little dirty liars, bro. Alright? Brock Lesnar is back because John Cena requested it as his retirement opponent, and this is, if John wants it, I think he's earned the right, and if John requested it, we will make it happen. Are you kidding me, bro? John Cena, the walking, talking PR machine, stunting, the guy who goes on every single talk show and is like the most PR, PC guy there is, PG-13, everything. This guy is the embodiment of that. And he's gonna go out of his way and request a guy who was actually banned from the WWE, a guy who is in, supposed legal trouble. And, he has to have like essentially John Cena get his way. He's gonna force the WWE legal team to clear out Brock Lesnar so he can make his return, just so John Cena can have his opponent, just for him to get F5, and on the following SmackDown Live, the next week, for him to have a match against Logan Paul. Like, are you kidding me? You mean to tell me this was John Cena's plans all along? And the thing is this, right? Triple H said like, oh yeah, if John Cena wants it, he can get it. And then literally there's a street interview with John Cena going around saying, look, I'm just doing what, the landscape is currently, offering me, and I will take any opportunities, I will go with the flow, and that's it. That's my job, right? He didn't even say, yeah, I requested. No, bro. Why is Triple H trying to put it on John Cena, bro? It doesn't make any logical sense. It's like just deflecting, right? It's deflecting whatever Triple H might get criticized for, essentially. Where is The Rock?
I don't know what happened with Dwayne. That's something you should have Dwayne come into these beautiful Yahoo studios and answer for himself. I really don't know.
Where is Roman Reigns in the title picture? Who is the next big heel opponent on SmackDown? Who is the next big heel on Monday Night Raw? Who is going to actually elevate themselves into the main event picture? Because now that John Cena lost, there are only two guys that can actually main event. Alright, it's Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes. And of course we have CM Punk there, we have Seth Rollins there. But the reality is, CM Punk has proven that in this return run that he has had, he is okay being the B title. He is okay being the night one. He is okay being the B-side. He is okay just to be on the poster. He is okay not going out there and getting what he deserves, the WWE Undisputed Championship. No. Instead, he comes back, he kisses babies, he kisses everybody's behind, he's hugging, tugging, doing everything but actually being a cult of personality and the best in the world. The best in the world doesn't go out and cry, oh, I main event at WrestleMania. Oh my god, I finally won my championship, the World Heavyweight title. You're like, come on, bro. Like, everything has like an asterisk to it, bro. It's like essentially like, come on, bro. It's like, you know what I mean? It's like freaking WNBA players saying, oh my god, we are world champions now. But you're not gonna go in there and beat LeBron James, are you? You know what I mean? So like, it's just like all of that stuff, bro. It's just like B league, B titles, B side, minor league. So like, that's my issue here. We have Cody, we have Roman. Roman barely gets booked, and if Roman is not there, who is Cody Rhodes gonna feud against? Who is Cody Rhodes actually gonna have that can elevate him into a good, proper main event feud? Because look at what happened last year. 2024 was arguably the most boring year for the WWE Championship, and I love Cody. Don't get me wrong, I love Cody. But this whole thing that Triple H is doing with like, oh yeah, let me send this guy away, that guy away. Oh yeah, we can farm his aura, we can have him go away, we can have him come back later at SummerSlam. Okay, now that SummerSlam is over and done with, we can write Roman Reigns off of TV. And like, the thing is this, I'm not even sure if Roman Reigns is actually written off of TV, because there's rumors going around that he might show up at Clash at Paris, and I'm like so confused at this point, alright? Brock Lesnar comes back, he F5s John Cena, the world is on fire, John Cena comes out, and he barely mentions Brock Lesnar. It might have been like a few sentences. He said, Brock Lesnar, I'm afraid, but I will not back down. That's it. And then he gets interrupted by Logan Paul, and I already knew where that was going, but luckily, right, I thought I was getting swerved here, because John Cena said, okay, you know what? Forget about Clash at Paris. How about you and I have a match right now? And I thought, okay, that match, that slot is still going to be allocated for Brock Lesnar and John Cena. Maybe they're going to have a 2 or 3 match feud, whatever it might be. I thought that was going to be the case. But the match happens, John Cena gets low blowed, and it's a dirty finish, open finish. Logan Paul and John Cena go backstage, and then we pan back into the ring. We have Drew McIntyre and Cody Rhodes battling it out. And of course, Drew McIntyre took him out, setting up their feud. So I already knew, I predicted that Drew McIntyre would get himself involved into the title picture. But my issue is this: I don't really care about Drew McIntyre. Why? Because Triple H has buried him. He had him lose to CM Punk. That's good. For me, that's not an issue. But why did it take almost a year and a half ever since CM Punk beat Drew McIntyre for him to get the title? Like at least elevate him and make CM Punk look good. At least make CM Punk look that good to the point where Drew McIntyre actually looks good as well. But no, what happens after that? Damian Priest and Drew McIntyre have a feud. They take each other out. It is a steel cage match, and damn, he gets actually beaten down clean. And Damian Priest just walks out the front door. Okay, whatever. He got buried. That's cool. And then he comes back to SmackDown Live after like a month and a half. What does he do? He interrupts Cody Rhodes and Randy Orton in their promo. Randy Orton RKO's him. He lays him out. And on Saturday night's main event, dude, Drew McIntyre loses, So this is the guy, right, that goes into SummerSlam with a bunch of losses, that hasn't won anything properly. He goes into a match with a celebrity, Jelly Bean, bro. He goes in there with Jelly Bean and Logan Paul. What? Of course they won the match, but that's only because Jelly Bean literally said, I'm not going to come into a ring and win. So if they were just going to go off by the default way of booking, they would have had Drew McIntyre lose to Jelly Bean as well, or Randy Orton, that tag match. And the fact of the matter is, we would have still had Drew McIntyre versus Cody Rhodes today. So, the whole thing about Drew McIntyre being nerfed and nerfed and nerfed is actually sickening to me, because I'm not going to be buying into any Cody Rhodes title match anymore, because I was already sick of the entire title run that he had in 2024, and he held the title up until April, and then he reclaimed it in August, right? So what did he have? So that's like what? In 2 years, he only lost it for 4 months. That's it. Oh, whoop-de-doo, bro. Oh my God. I appreciate the fact that you took the title off of Cody Rhodes and you loaned it to John Cena for having a little heel run that actually led to nowhere. Oh my God. You're so kind, Cody. Here you go. Here's your title again. You're the GOAT. You're the best. King of the Ring champion, TLC champion, the Undisputed champion, tag team champion. You win everything, bro. You are the Don, bro. And now you're gonna go in there with a feud against Drew McIntyre and he's gonna win. He's gonna beat this guy, bro. And the thing is this, Drew McIntyre, he doesn't deserve it. And the problem is, right, a lot of people will say, yeah, but he's a jobber, he's this, he's that, just because of the fact that he's getting booked that way and we are getting that perception of him. But if the perception was him being undefeated, a killer, he was just not there for months and months and months, and he finally came back looking shredded dice like he does right now, and he just goes in there and brutalizes Cody Rhodes like he did, but let's just forget about all the losses that he had and turn them into wins. Now he's a threat. He's not a threat. Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live, Triple H has had zero good heels, and I don't know what it is. I don't know if he just doesn't like people that are taller than him, more muscular than him, that actually look like proper wrestlers. I don't know if he wants everybody to be chubby cheeks, muffin tops, 5'10", 5'11" guys, bro. Look, you know what I mean? The thing is this, the wrestlers don't look like wrestlers. I mean, are you kidding me, bro? You look at the tag division, you got a 50-year-old guy, Tommaso Ciampa. I mean, he's in shape, but what about the Motor City Machine Guns or the War Raiders? It's come on, bro. I'm tired of it, bro. And then you have the Samoans. It's come on, bro. Rinse, rinse, rinse. Where is the creativity? Where is this whole narrative that we were promised where, oh my God, now that Triple H is here, we're going to get long-term cinema, we're going to get booking. And the thing is this, it all started to look like that. Why? Because last year, The Rock was involved, right? He gets himself involved, finished the story, he gets his main event taken away, he gets that replaced with the tag match. Cody Rhodes finishes the story. The Rock comes out. He says this is not over. At Bad Blood 2004, he comes out to confront Cody and Roman together in the ring. He slices his neck, 1, 2, 3 in the air, and then he makes his his grandiose return at Raw Netflix 1, and he buries everything. He buries everything. He goes in, then he hugs Cody, he hugs Roman, that's it. Scruffy beard, he didn't even shave, he looks like a damn retired skateboarder, bro. Are you kidding me, Rock? The thing is this, I'm not sure how much of that is just it was because Raw Netflix 1, it was a new era, everybody's, celebrating. And of course, The Rock and Cody, right? After Raw after Mania 40, they were cordial, they were shaking hands, and they were The Rock was nice, so I'm not gonna act like he was just gonna always attack him and be volatile. But the problem for me was after he came back, right? They essentially forced The Rock to come back, the final boss to come back, before he wanted to. They called him up and he said, look, the Canada crowd is tough, the Toronto crowd is tough, the tickets are not moving fast enough. The Rock, could you please come in and essentially do your job and, boost some ticket sales? Okay. The Rock comes back, Cody, I want your soul, Cody. Look at your son, Mama Rhodes, right? He does all of that stuff, and I'm digging it, man. Who doesn't love that? If you somehow when it drops, right? We all love that. But it was forced. He didn't want to come back. And now, what happens? He didn't show up at WrestleMania. Okay. So, what happens? He has John Cena turn heel. And that was decided on the day. It was supposed to be Kevin Owens, or somebody else before, Kevin Owens got injured or whatever, right? It was supposed to be Kevin Owens, and The Rock and Triple H, they meet up with John Cena on the day of the Elimination Chamber, and Triple H says to The Rock, look, Rock, John Cena, he wants to do it. Let's turn him heel. And then he asks The Rock, look, can you make this happen? Does this work for you? This was literally on the WWE Unreal episode. They were talking the day of you're making John Cena turn heel and trying to include him in the whole The Rock thing. What the hell is going on here, Triple H? And the thing is this, everybody wants to blame The Rock. Everybody wants to blame Travis Scott. Dude, they're not the issue here. They were never the issue. And the thing is this, The Rock, he doesn't need to wrestle anymore. And all of his involvements don't include him having to wrestle. That's my problem here. He could have just shown up and he could have done his thing. But no, because they forced The Rock to come back too early to, further the story. Look, what do we have right now? He didn't show up at WrestleMania. Instead, we had Travis Scott show up. Why? Because the whole TKO and Triple H fiasco. They needed The Rock, but The Rock wasn't ready to come back. Okay? And then we have the entire heel run. We don't have John Cena mention The Rock one bit. And what is that? A clear indication that Triple H didn't have anything booked with The Rock anyway. It was just a great visual and that was it. Where was the storyline where John Cena explained everything? Why he turned heel? Why he sided with The Rock? Instead, right? He goes on Brussels Raw. He goes on the mic and he says, this is a dysfunctional relationship. Are you kidding? Are you kidding me, bro? Literally? This is a dysfunctional, you guys boo me all the time after. Bro, what are you talking about, bro? Ever since you announced that you were retiring, the people love you getting cheated every single time. At least be a proper comic book heel. At least attack and say, you know what? I want to go out with the title. At least say I want to go in there and destroy Cody Rhodes because he's not the face of the WWE. I'm the face of the WWE. I am going in there and taking what is mine. That World Championship, and I'm getting it off of you, Cody. He could have said that, but no. Instead, he was whining and dining and crying every single week, and after 2 or 3 weeks of cutting the same promo across Europe, they finally come face to face with Cody, and it's so funny, bro. John Cena keeps cutting promos on the crowd while Cody Rhodes is cutting promos on him. It's like only Cody Rhodes was having beef with John Cena, bro. So it's so funny to me. And then finally John Cena acknowledges him and says, oh, you were nothing more than my chauffeur, yada, yada, yada. And then for 2-3 weeks leading into WrestleMania, John Cena gets hit with crossroads. He's just on his back and yada, always looking weak. Ultimately, he gets the title and he has it for 4 months. And still in that period, no mention of The Rock, no mention of Travis Scott. Suddenly, one day before SummerSlam, hey guys, I don't want to leave with the title because I want to ruin wrestling. I love wrestling. I want to leave with the title because you guys can't forget about me, can you? Come on, bro. Dude, we love you, man. Stop with the tear jerking, bro. He was the most babyface heel of all time, bro. He did such a bad job at it. And even then, he only mentioned The Rock for half a split second. He's like, I didn't sell my soul to The Rock or whatever, something like that, along those lines. But he didn't even acknowledge him, bro. And that was my indication of okay, finally he mentioned The Rock. At night 2 main event, Cody's gonna lose, The Rock is gonna come down all angry, and he's gonna be like, look at you now, John. Look at you now, boy. Right? You wanna come in there at WrestleMania 40 and interrupt the final boss? Eat that rock bottom. And now you want to turn your back on me? You want to lose that title after I made you my corporate title boy? Right? And he's going to keep slapping him with the belt around. You know what I mean? Do all that thing. And then he's going to see that John Cena is on his back. Cody Rhodes is looking like a goofball in the corner, all shocked. And then he's going to be like, you know what? Both of you guys, he's going to slice his throat. He's going to point at the stage. Bam, wham, wham, boom. The Brock Lesnar return that nobody expected. Brock goes in there. He lays out Cody, he lays out John, and then we have the whole bloodline or the final boss clan, whatever the hell, and we finally could have concluded that. But no, what happens instead? Nothing, bro, nothing. He loses the match clean, and then suddenly, without The Rock, without any indication to the plotline with The Rock, suddenly Brock Lesnar comes out and he F5s him, he dips It's the SmackDown following week. He cuts a promo. There is no mention of him. And this is what I'm talking about, you guys. This is just the hypocrisy of Triple H. This is the bad booking. I don't know how many times I can keep saying this, but we definitely need somebody like Vince McMahon back. Why? Because at least his mind was so bulletproof. What he had in mind, that was the way to go. You look at WWE Unreal, bro. There are about like 5 or 6 creators in the writing room, and Triple H is like, all right, guys, what are we gonna do? Yeah, you know, I was thinking about John Cena. Like, come on, bro. Like, it gets to a point where at least, like, essentially write out what you think. All he does is like sit there and like listen to the ideas, and they're horrible ideas, bro. These guys, oh my god, bro, they're just so bad. Put me in there. Put me and intern John in there, bro. Like, we would cook up the best cinema of all time. But no. Instead, what do we have? Just a bunch of filler booking, a bunch of filler booking, a bunch of filler booking. And this is the spot that we are. Cody Rhodes once again has a title. And forget that he ever lost the title to John Cena because of The Rock. Forget about The Rock. Forget about John Cena. We are back to what happened after finishing the story. And this is the same title run. Don't forget it. Don't look at Cody Rhodes as a 2-time champion. Just think about, he just had to dip after WrestleMania because he was just a little bit tired and overworked, and now he's back and he's got the title again. Look at him in that point of view, okay? And then every single booking decision makes absolutely no sense. Right? We're going to go into Clash at Paris. John Cena is going to beat Logan Paul. Maybe something's going to happen. He's a heel, you know? Like, the thing is this, John Cena hasn't won a single match clean in such a long time. And for me, bro, I wouldn't be shocked if this freaking goofball goes in there and puts over Logan Paul. I wouldn't be shocked one bit. And this just indicates world championship scene is completely buried. It is the same thing on Monday Night Raw. Thankfully that Seth Rollins did complete work just like I predicted. I already knew that he was going to come back and cash in on CM Punk. Why? Because he said, CM Punk, as long as you're here, me, Seth Rollins, will not make you be a champion. I will do anything in my power to take away your opportunity to become a world champion, right? So that is good. And now what happens, right? They have a feud. LA Knight gets, back in the mix. And I'm actually excited for that. All I want, bro, is just for plot lines to make sense. If CM Punk is going to get written off TV, if Roman Reigns is going to get written off TV, if Gunther is going to get written off TV, and we're only going to deal with LA Knight and Seth Rollins, what does that say about the World Heavyweight Championship picture? That means that LA Knight and whatever shot that he might have is just simply a filler match, just to get back at Gunther, just to get back at Roman, just to get back at CM Punk. And we won't have the actual, continuity of the World Heavyweight Championship go forward up until that point. And like I said, there are rumors Roman might show up at Clash of Paris. I don't really know what's going to go on. But right, it all makes no sense. And you can't blame me for that one bit. At least we have Seth Rollins as the world champion again. He's got the whole Vision clan going on. And the thing is this, right? Even in that plotline, there is just so many continuity issues. He was gone, right? And what did Braun Breaker say? Braun Breaker said, I was the leader of this group when Seth was gone. He returns, Seth Rollins has the title, and there is no indication of any feud. So I am hoping that sooner rather than later, we're going to have an internal power struggle, because that is something that we need to happen quickly, because honestly, bro, WrestleMania is approaching really rapidly. We have the next 2 PLEs, Clash at Paris and then in Perth. Those are filler, okay? Those are filler pay-per-views. Those are nothing. We have Survivor Series that's gonna set up the Royal Rumble. And from the Royal Rumble onward, it's the road to WrestleMania. And that is how close everything is. And that is how close John Cena's retirement is. We're gonna have 11 dates left for John Cena, 2 or 3 matches left, and we're gonna waste one of them on Logan Paul. It actually makes no sense. And why do you think the viewership is down month after month on Netflix? Why do you think that? Because of stuff like this. You cannot convince me on a week-to-week basis that Triple H actually cares about us. You cannot convince me that one bit, because all he really does is clip farm the PLEs, and he has a big pop, he has a viral moment, and then he thinks, alright, I did my job. And then the following 4 weeks of Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live, we get absolutely nothing. I mean, look at the state that we're in. Brock Lesnar comes back after years. F5 John Cena, and then the following SmackDown Live, John Cena is wrestling as Logan Paul. What? And you know what actually bothers me? I know that The Rock will come back. That's the funny part. I know that he will come back. But he has missed the return with so many opportunities. And I can't blame him. I can only blame Triple H. Because look at what Paul Heyman said in this clip. So essentially Paul Heyman is saying all of those plans fell apart. It fell apart with Travis Scott and The Rock, whatever with The Rock, right? So the problem is, we want to blame The Rock. But The Rock is not to blame. Alright, who is writing these stories? Who is the head of creative? It is Triple H. So, knowing the fact that at some stage The Rock will come back, obviously that is a given, I can only say that he will come back at the most random time of all time. And he will not come back at Clash at Paris. He will not come back at Perth. And that only says one thing. He will come back at Survivor Series. Oh my god, bro. That's almost an entire year since he came back, right? What is that? Like, he came back in March, and then he's gonna come back at Survivor Series. What is that, November? Like, come on, bro. Like, 9 months? Like, 8 months? Come on. Like, a damn near entire year passed, bro. And then he's gonna come back and do what exactly? So, that is my whole issue here. We are setting up, essentially, the most inevitable plotline, which is The Rock and Cody Rhodes. That is the inevitable plotline. Like, he said it. He said it himself. This is not over between you and I. Our story has just begun. And my problem is this. Where does this include Roman Reigns? Where does this include the title that maybe The Rock would want? And where does this include the next corporate champion? Because John Cena was not a corporate champion, okay? So my whole thing is this. We have all these plot lines at SmackDown and Raw, and they are not cohesive. All the main plot lines are this. Seth Rollins has the World Heavyweight Championship, and the main plot line, the continuity, is Seth Rollins, CM Punk. The continuity for Cody Rhodes and the WWE Undisputed Championship is The Rock. And in brackets, maybe Roman Reigns. And where do we get that? When do we get that? If we get that, that is my problem here. All of the plot lines make absolutely no sense, and we are going nowhere. I mean, Roman Reigns is talking about retiring. Roman Reigns is want to, like, you know, he wants to go into Hollywood. But like, bro, like, as much as I love Roman Reigns because he got the perfect eyes, perfect beard, perfect neck, perfect thing, you know what I mean? Like, he got everything going for him. The problem with him is, as much as I enjoyed him being at the top, I also acknowledge the fact that he was only at the top for so long because not only, you know, it was the entire shutdown era, no crowds. So what? Who else is going to have the title but Roman? So automatically, but like by default, he had that title for a year and a half, 2 years by default. Just add it onto his stats. And then he had 1 year where it was like actually like, you know, leading into 39 and 40. So that was all about Roman. But the thing is this, now that you lose a title, why do you keep going away? Why do you, like, when you come back, right? You have an entire match against Bronson and Breaker, Big Bad Greed and Braun Breaker. Why do you have a match and you go in there and you beat them? But the following Monday Night Raw, what happens? Everything that you did at SummerSlam is essentially forgotten about, nullified, and it didn't even matter one bit. Why? Because you go in there and get laid out again. And where the hell was, like, Jey Uso in all of this? Like, wasn't he there to wrestle with his cousin and beat Bronson and Big Bad Greed? Like, where was he? No, like, instead CM Punk comes out and he gets laid out as well. I get it, right? You want to have the vision look strong, but at some stage, my issue doesn't become about who wins or loses. My main issue becomes that no plot lines have continuity and actually make sense. Why does Roman Reigns come back for a tag match, first of all? Second of all, this guy is not even on Raw. Where is the brand split, dude? We need a WWE draft ASAP. We need Rhea Ripley at SmackDown. We need Damian Priest going to Raw. We need Cody to stay at SmackDown. We need Seth Rollins to be at Raw. We need we need a proper brand split right now, because I'm actually getting sick and tired of, you know, not knowing what continuity is at play here, because there is no brand split, all the storylines intertwine and mingle. Dude, LA Knight is a SmackDown guy. What is he doing on Monday Night Raw, going in there and challenging against Seth Rollins? And I get it, dude. I get it, right? But the thing is this, everything is so convoluted to the point where, oh, they can always, like, panic book anything, and they can have no continuity for any storylines that they built. And that is my issue. I want to watch SmackDown. I want to watch Raw and have, like, respective storylines go at it. And that is why I like Night 1 and Night 2. But the problem is, I want to look at Night 1 as the Monday Night Raw, and I want to look at Night 2 as a SmackDown, or vice versa. But no, instead we have a lot of storylines intertwining. Like, the thing is this, right? 1 month you have CM Punk confronting John Cena on SmackDown Live for the WWE title, and then the next month CM Punk is in a gauntlet match on Raw for the World Heavyweight Championship. Like, what is going on here? Right? What is going on here? And Drew McIntyre, he got to go back to Raw, bro, because SmackDown is not treating him properly. Triple H is not treating him properly. And I'm not sure when the whole PLE thing is going to happen with ESPN. But aside from the fact that we as viewers in America are getting, you know, ripped off, essentially the only positive that I can think of is that at least they will try to make the PLEs a little bit more exciting, a little bit more worthy to tune in. And what happens with that? That means the weekly shows that lead up to those PLEs actually have to be good. Now that everything is on Raw, and like the thing is this, Raw is only on Netflix in the United States, but globally it's on like Netflix all around. But the thing is this, it doesn't really seem that like WWE actually promotes the fact that you can watch all the PLEs, all the weekly shows on Netflix globally, which means aka if you use a damn VPN connected to outside of the United States, connect to Canada, connect to Ireland, connect to the UK, you can just go in there and watch all the PLEs. So I'm not sure what like really indicates them wanting to have a proper push for the PLEs aside from right now. I think right now might be the good time for them to actually consider actually putting some good effort into leading into the PLEs, because right now with ESPN, I'm not sure when the actual shift happens, but when it does, I think aside from the viewers getting screwed over, it could only mean good things for the weekly shows, and that is what I'm hoping for. And if not, then I guess we're just screwed forever, right? We only have Cody, we only have Roman, and that's it. You look at the entire roster of the WWE, everybody's 40 years old, bro. Kevin Owens, Karrion Kross, Roman, Rollins is about to be 40, Cody is 40, John Cena is over 40, CM Punk is over 40, Drew McIntyre is over 40, Randy Orton is over 40, AJ Styles is close to 50, R-Truth is over 50, Damian Priest is over 50, who else? Gunther is almost 40 as well. Like the whole picture that we have right now of current WWE, like the thing is this, as bad as it is right now, we haven't seen anything yet. And trust me when I say that, and it actually like doesn't that actually scare you a little bit when I say that? Doesn't that send some like shockwaves through your spine and you're like, oh my god, how bad can it be? Bro, it is going to get darker than a dark night, bro, alright? Not even Batman can save us from Gotham City, bro. Trust me. In the next 4 years, right? When the year turns to be 2028, 29, bro, Roman is gone. Seth Rollins is going to be like the only guy and we're going to have to bank on him. Really? Come on, bro. Like, next thing we know, bro, he's going to start wearing like a bikini, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like the way that he's going, bro, he's getting more and more skimpy. He's getting more and more see-through leggings, latex leggings. Dude, like, as much as I love Rollins, he's my most like, you know, I like him in the ring. He's my favorite wrestler in the ring. But the problem with him is just his presentation, bro. He just doesn't look like a guy that actually looks like he is a proper main eventer. He doesn't look like an alpha. He should add like 20, 30 pounds onto his frame, and he should get a little bit more buff, jacked, cut his hair or something, get a new drastic look. I don't really know what it is, but this whole wearing the high heels, wearing the coats, wearing the costumes like a circus clown, it is not gonna cut it in the next few years, alright? CM Punk is whatever, like he's 46, 47, 48, whatever, how old he is. Trust me, in the next 5 years, 4 years, they are gone. Roman is gone. Cena is gone this year. Brock is gone. R-Truth is gone. The Rock is gone. Everybody is gone. And who do we have to replace them? Dominic Mysterio? What? Big Back Greed? What? Bronson Breaker? What? Who else? I can't even name them because nobody, bro. Chad Gable is 40 years old. You know what I mean? Leroy Kaiser is up there. Gunther is up there as well. And like, come on, bro. The entire future is cooked. And that's my issue here. There is such limited time, especially right now, knowing that John Cena is going to go away. We have such little time left. There is actually a dire need for a proper feud. And instead, we're going to get John Cena against Logan Paul. Oh yeah, I guess we have Logan Paul, right? In the next 4 years, I hate to say this, I truly hate this actually, like, I just got like a little like mini heart attack. Logan Paul is going to be a world heavyweight champion. Logan Paul is going to be a WWE undisputed champion, and I'm not ready. I am not ready for that day to come. That might be the time where either the heels advocate is going to get to a level of hate where the passion is just so high that I can go week after week hate watching, digging in, just doing whatever I can do, or the complete opposite will happen. It will be so bad that I will just say, hey, goodbye, and I'm gone. That might actually be happening. And the reality is this, that is literally what is being built up to. They are building up Logan. They are building up Dominic. They are building up all of these big backs currently in the WWE. Oh yeah, don't forget Sami Zayn is going to get a world title as well soon. So everything leads into the ditch. I don't know what it is. I don't know what we can do. I have fantasy booked so many videos. I have fantasy booked this, fantasy booked that. I am behind all the right causes. I want the best plot lines. I want the best experience for you and I. I want everything to be great because I love professional wrestling. I have watched it since I was a little kid. I was 4 years old and I watched WCW Unmasked Rey Mysterio walk down. I have seen Bill Goldberg in WCW. I have seen Sting when I was 4 or 5 years old. I was locked in, right? I was in love with wrestling before I could even like speak properly. I was playing all the games. Wrestling is a major part in my media consumption. I don't watch football. I don't watch basketball. I don't watch politics. I don't watch stupid whatever the hell sports it might be. The only thing I consume is professional wrestling, boxing, and MMA. That's it. If there is a ring in it, I'm locked in, alright? Kayfabe or legit, right? If it's a work or a shoot, I enjoy both of it. And the reality is this. I don't like the way everything is going. We need proper stars. We need to filter these guys from 6'2.5", 225 pounds, lean, right? Unless that happens, we will not have a future. We will have a future with Sami Zayn, a hairy lollipop looking guy. Or somebody like Big Back Bronson Reed who got fucking jock itch discoloration in the middle of his fucking thighs, right? We have people like that who can go in there, or like, you know, Gunther, like a melted candle, looking like just absolute clowns, right? Looking like absolute jokes to the business. We used to have Batistas. We used to have Bill Goldbergs. We used to have like these big muscle houses that actually look like legitimate guys. Today, right? You can literally go into the face of a professional wrestler and say, what you do is fake, and they will say, haha, yeah, you're right, bro. Let's take a picture and smile on your face like a damn Libby, bro. Are you kidding me? Back in the day, you would get smacked across your freaking face, bro. Oh yeah, that's fake. How real is this? Huh? How real is that? Like that was what wrestling was all about. And what do we have today? A bunch of little guys that don't even lift freaking weights, muffin tops. Like, come on, bro. I'm out.